Have you ever seen someone walk into enemy territory and felt the entire game was about to flip? Alex Eala's arrival in Osaka isn't just another athlete showing up for a tournament. This is a tremor, a warning shot fired by a new generation. If you ask the locals who's favored to win, they'll likely laugh and say, Naomi Osaka owns these courts. It's her home turf, her kingdom. But beneath that confidence, a question that nobody wants to ask out loud is beginning to form. What if the 19-year-old lefty from the Philippines is the surprise everyone missed? What if the future of tennis is already here and nobody is ready for it? You can almost feel the old guard gripping their rackets a little tighter. Osaka has always been a stage for stars, for legends. You think of this tournament and you think of Naomi Osaka's explosive serves, her lightning-fast footwork, and the roar of the home crowd. But today, that entire script might get shredded by a quiet, determined teenager with a stubborn left hand. Alex Eala didn't travel across an ocean just to be a placeholder in the draw. She's here with a point to prove and a real shot at breaking open the entire tournament in spectacular fashion. This isn't just another match. It's a potential uprising. Let's break down what's actually happening. Osaka, Japan, is one of the world's great tennis centers, a place where skills are brutally tested, nerves are shredded, and reputations are forged in the crucible of high-stakes competition. It is not a friendly place for outsiders. For decades, it has been a proving ground where young, hopeful players come, lose early to established veterans, and leave as mere footnotes in the tournament's history. The local press is already buzzing, not with excitement for the newcomer, but with skepticism. Can the young Alex Eala, an unseeded wild card, possibly outlast the gauntlet of seasoned veterans and rising new talent that is stacked across the bracket? The draw is a murderer's row of talent. You have Naomi Osaka, Japan's national pride, a multiple Grand Slam champion who can blast aces like most people send text messages. You have Linda Noskova, the tough, aggressive 20-year-old from the Czech Republic who is already known for her fearless, power-hitting game and has a string of top 10 wins under her belt. You have Leylah Fernandez, the quick, stylish Canadian who has a long and storied history with Eala, both as friends and as fierce rivals from their junior circuit battles. And then there is the ghost of a recent heartbreak, Kristyna Buxa, the very player who sent Alex home from the recent US Open in 3 brutal, hard-fought sets. This is not a welcoming draw. If you're a newcomer here, you have to fight for every single point, for every single ounce of respect. And you have to do it under the watchful and often critical eyes of a crowd that is there to see its own heroes win. On paper, Alex Eala is the clear underdog, a fact made even more stark when you look at her head-to-head records against the top players in the draw. She has not yet faced Naomi Osaka on the senior tour. That matchup is a complete blank slate, a piece of unwritten history that is just begging to be made, and one that has tennis analysts salivating at the potential clash of styles. Against the power of Linda Noskova, it's the same story. 0 matches played, a complete unknown. Against her old rival, Leylah Fernandez, they have somehow managed to avoid each other on the professional tour, a collision that feels both inevitable and long overdue. And then there is Kristyna Buxa. That name stings. The record shows a recent loss, a match where Alex came agonizingly close, pushed every rally to the limit, but ultimately left the court with a defeat that she has likely replayed in her mind 100 times. So, with this untested record, why is everyone suddenly talking about Alex Eala? Because her rise has been fast enough, and her talent is obvious enough, that it's got seasoned coaches and commentators saying, hey, double-check that bracket. Her game isn't just versatile. It's built for big moments on big stages. Eala's lefty forehand, with its unique spin and sharp angles, is already a weapon that is bending rallies out of shape and frustrating opponents. Her high-percentage first serve and her aggressive willingness to attack second serves have earned her the wild cards and the opportunities that are now putting her in the spotlight. She's carrying a win rate north of 59% since breaking onto the main stage, a statistic that is higher than most first-year pros. That on-court confidence is real, but it's not cockiness. Her team and friends say she obsesses over improvement, that she studies match footage for hours, and that she talks through strategy with her coach no matter how late the hour. She's not just playing the game, she is studying it. If she gets the dream matchup against Naomi Osaka, the strategic and psychological battle will be immense. Osaka will be playing at home, with a crowd that is practically programmed to roar for her every move, an intimidating wall of sound that can crush the spirit of any opponent. Alex will stand on the other side of the net with a clear outsider status, with all eyes on her, watching her reactions, waiting for her to crack under the pressure. To beat Osaka in this environment, she will need to be ice cold. She will need to do more than just survive Osaka's powerful ground strokes. She will need to plant her returns deep, extend the rallies, and refuse to give away any cheap points. Osaka is famous for her ability to flip the momentum of a match with a single, thunderous swing of her racket. So Alex's best and perhaps only chance is to play unpredictably. She will need to mix in some slices to break up the rhythm, use sharp angles to get Osaka on the run, and turn the match into a grueling physical and mental battle, not a simple slugfest. The other potential matchups are just as challenging. Against Noskova, she will face someone who plays quick, aggressive, first-strike tennis, a player who tries to dominate from the very first game. Eala tends to play her way into matches, using long points to find her opponent's weakness. The match will be a pure battle for control. If Noskova gets to dictate the rallies, she will likely win. But if Eala can absorb the initial power and keep her off balance, it shifts the entire dynamic. A match with her old rival, Leylah Fernandez, could become an instant classic. Fernandez uses tempo, angles, and incredible speed. Her game is almost like ballet with a tennis racket. To win, Eala will need to turn the match ugly. She will need to make it a physical grind, a war of attrition, and refuse to let Fernandez finish points with a quick, stylish winner. And then there's Butsa. That is the rematch everyone wants to see, a chance for Eala to prove she has learned from her recent heartbreak and is ready to turn a painful loss into a triumphant victory. Beyond the on-court strategy, there is the off-court battle, the immense weight of expectation. For a superstar like Osaka, the pressure is to defend her legacy and meet the sky-high expectations of her nation. For a newcomer like Eala, the pressure is different but no less intense. She is not just playing for herself. She is carrying the hopes of an entire country. As one of the most prominent athletes from the Philippines, every match she plays is headline news back home. This national pride is a powerful motivator, but it can also be a heavy burden. A deep run in a tournament like Osaka isn't just about ranking points. It's about sponsorship deals, media attention, and the potential to become a global brand. The financial stakes are enormous. A single high-profile win can be the difference between a comfortable career and life-changing wealth. This off-court war, fought in the minds of the players and in the headlines of the media, often determines who cracks and who thrives under the bright lights of the main stadium. Eala's ability to shut out this noise and focus purely on the game will be her greatest test. How is any of this even possible for a 19-year-old? It all comes down to how Alex Eala trains, how she thinks, and how she has learned to flip setbacks into fuel. Like any young player, she has lost early in tournaments, and she still does sometimes. But you never get the sense from watching her that she is truly beaten. Her team says she takes a bad loss and immediately turns it into hours on the practice court, quietly and methodically fixing weakness after weakness. Eala isn't famous for huge, flashy celebrations. She's the kind of player who, after winning a massive point, will quietly clench her fist, walk back to the baseline, and immediately refocus, her mind already on the next point. She is unshaken. In training, she will repeat funky, difficult footwork drills for hours. She will blast forehands down the line 100 times in a row and then be the first to tell her coach what went wrong. She takes her game personally, not just professionally. When you contrast this with a superstar like Osaka, you see the difference. Naomi brings the crowd noise, an energy and a star power that can intimidate anyone before the first ball is even hit. Eala walks onto the court and seems to shrug it all off. In her mind, it's just a tennis ball, just a court. She's not here to play the game of expectations. She's busy writing her own rules. What's cool is how a crowd can shift. If Eala grabs an early break against a home favorite, you can feel the energy in the stadium change. Suddenly, people are watching her, not just the superstar. A crowd's loyalty is real, but sports fans, above all, love new drama. Alex Eala is that new drama, and she has a real shot. If she takes down a top 20 player here in Osaka, she moves straight from the shadows into the bright, unforgiving limelight, and everybody will start looking up her stats. This brings us to the tipping point in any great underdog story, the moment the crowd turns. A home court advantage is a powerful weapon. The energy of thousands of fans can lift a player and demoralize an opponent. But there's a unique and dangerous magic that happens when an underdog starts to win them over. It begins with a few polite claps for a great shot. Then a murmur of appreciation for a gritty, long rally. If Eala can absorb the initial storm and start to match Osaka's power with her own clever shot-making, that murmur can grow into a real buzz. Suddenly, the crowd isn't just cheering for their hero, they are cheering for the fight. They are cheering for the drama. This is the moment when an outsider can steal the energy of the stadium. If Alex can get the crowd to fall in love with her fight, her spirit, then Osaka is no longer just playing against one opponent. She's playing against the shifting tides of the entire arena. Winning over the enemy's crowd is the ultimate psychological victory, and it's a weapon that Eala, with her quiet determination, is uniquely equipped to wield. Let's imagine the big scene. Eala stands behind the baseline. The stadium is pulsing, the cameras are everywhere. It's match point. She's down, but she's still fighting. On the other side of the net, Osaka steps up to serve, and the crowd is chanting her name. Osaka goes for a huge match-winning serve. Alex stretches, gets her racket on it, and sends a deep backhand return. The rally begins, a tense, brutal exchange from corner to corner. 10 shots, 15 shots. The tension builds until the entire stadium is holding its breath. Then Alex sees a small opening. She fires a forehand cross-court, a high-risk shot. The crowd goes completely silent. The ball lands just inside the line. The umpire checks the mark. In. Alex clenches her fist, maybe allows herself a tiny split-second smile but gives nothing away. This isn't just another point. It could be the start of something real. After the match, the players will talk quietly in the tunnels. The fans will swarm social media, and everybody will be asking the same question. Who is this kid? Eala's arrival in Osaka is more than a potential upset. It's a wake-up call. Some people came to this tournament expecting to see the stars they already know. They might just get a glimpse of the future instead.